I'm going to start with, actually, Claire Taylor has a poem that just won the contest that Serotonin had. And she said that she was going to hop on here, but I wasn't sure how much time she had, so I'm going to do hers first in case she's listening. So her poem is called Resolve by Claire Taylor. I am trying to be more intentional. I hate when people use this word. Intentional, present, mindful. Take notice while washing the dishes. A mindfulness exercise suggests. Notice the suds, the gloss of the bubbles. Pay attention to the sound of the water spilling from the tap, hitting the sink basin, gliding over your skin. Focus on how the water swirls down the drain. Notice how each day is a series of small, repetitive tasks stacked atop each other. Not enough to fill you up, to make you whole, but enough to weigh you down. Note how the weight settles into your lower back, aching in the center, a pain originating deep in the bone. Something structural, something you are too old to bother correcting. Focus on your hands scrubbing the dishes, how the skin, grown loose with age, pulls around your knuckles. Notice how you barely recognize these hands, weak and sore, always struggling with jar lids. Notice how you barely recognize yourself, the folds of your middle like waves, one on top of the other. Note what it feels like to drown. Pay attention to the sound of your scream echoing behind your eyes, muffled by your pillow, beating against you like a bat through the twilight sky as you stand at the sink. Notice the heat of the water, the way the food stains lift from the plates, everything washing clean, everything disappearing. Notice how the sun fades away, how the sky melts from orange to purple to impenetrable black, how night descends without a care. Take note of how another day is ending, and here you are, still standing. So that one just kind of blew me away. So thank you, Claire, for sharing that with everybody. Okay, I've got a couple I'm going to read that are mine. So I'll start with the one that I had published here at Serotonin, and it's When I Wash the Dishes. So it's kind of goes in with Claire's poem also. When I wash the dishes, I realize the tides in my brain are shifting. Once I'm singing along to my phone and running the sponge in sudsy circles inside and around the lip of the next to the last dirty bowl that rests atop the kitchen counter. I recognize a calm heart and peaceful breaths and wonder if my mania is muted, less severe than the patient seeking care at the place I am employed. For when I find myself cleaning the kitchen, washing the messes, righting the wrongs, wringing the sadness, for a moment, I find myself happy. So thank you, Sean, for taking that one. That was a real personal one that isn't all poetry. The next one I'm going to read is one that Trampset published for me. It's The Night I Met God in the Drugstore. And thank you, C, because you helped me with this one, so I appreciate it. Okay. I met God at the aisle between analgesics and wound care. I was no longer in search for healing, so I settled for superficial repairs. He offered to cleanse me, to save me from myself, so he took a box of Band-Aids, peeled each one apart, and placed them across his skin. He said, "I am the body," and I asked if he would remember me. "Hush, child," he whispered, as his index finger brushed my cheek and landed upon my lips. "Healing is given to those who want to be saved." Okay, so I'll read this one and then I'll read one more that is not mine. Time goes really fast, well, really slow, excuse me, whenever you're reading stuff. Okay. So this one was published in Anti-Heroin Chic, and it is Honey for Houseflies. You wave the back of your hand and strap up your jaw. Leave honey out for houseflies and cover your ears as you pray. You read your biography and smash the pages into your skin. Maybe the words will stick this time. You cry when you forget and you know mountains do too. So you collect dandelions and crush them into your chest. You wait for them to take root and spread among your desert heart. But there are places even weeds refuse to grow. Okay, so that's all I'm going to read of mine, and then I'm going to read one more. I'm really into this book by Yrsa Daley Ward, Bone. I love it. So my favorite one from her right now I'm going to read. It's called Not the End of the World, but Almost. The day was not the best, especially in my head. I was thinking calmly about stepping off the side of the mountain in the rain, arms outstretched, embracing this life, this empty space one last time, and making it look like an accident. My eyes were blurry with salt, and I hadn't eaten in days, but my mind was clearer than air on a blue sky morning in the Black country. I said, no hard feelings, bright, hard world, but maybe, just maybe, you are not for me. Maybe I'm stretched too thinly, pressed too deeply into you in a shape that I can't keep without cramping. And maybe, just maybe, your breath is too cold. Perhaps human nature is just too fickle to understand, and rainbows aren't all they're cracked up to be. So why hang on until the rain ends? That was when I saw you. Eyes did meet. Lightning did not flash, but I thought to myself, who wears a reindeer jersey and red shorts in May? And anyway, you looked kind, and the sun was peeping out a little, and the sky was still dark, and it was still drizzling, but everyone needs a little kindness. You have a smile that turns down at the corners, and those gentle kind of eyes. Those gentle kind of eyes. We sat on a hill in the car, looking at where the beach met the sea, and the rain hit them both, and I, quite desperately, quite selfishly, said, drive into the sea with me just once, and it's done. You drove fast in the opposite direction, to a blessed place of broken brick and stone, and said, this used to be my childhood house, and then drove me further, on further to a purple house safe up on the hillside, and said, hey, one day this will be home. It wasn't perfect. It isn't now. I still have days when I want to exit the system quicker than you can say, don't you dare give up now. And you still have days where you can't even taste the sweet and raw honey, and neither one of us believes in pills. Days when I so want to kiss you, but your mouth is sour and my thoughts are bitter and I'm angry, just mad, just crazy with it all. But we are each other's home, sweet home, love. The roof is screwed on too tight at times, and the walls of our house can pinch a little, but my God, they are always warm.